Carbohydrates are biological molecules consisting of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms that can be metabolized by the body immediately as short-term energy or stored for later needs. When metabolized as fuel, carbohydrates produce 4 calories per gram. In biochemistry, the word carbohydrate is synonymous with the word saccharide. Monosaccharides are the smallest, most basic molecules of carbohydrates and are commonly referred to as simple sugars. Monosaccharides are usually colorless and water-soluble, cannot be hydrolyzed into smaller compounds, and form the building blocks of more complex saccharides. Examples of monosaccharides include glucose, fructose, and galactose. Disaccharides are also water-soluble and are formed when 2 monosaccharides are joined by a covalent bond or glycosidic linkage. Sucrose, table sugar, lactose, milk sugar, and maltose, malt sugar, are 3 examples of disaccharides. Polysaccharides, also called complex carbohydrates, are larger molecules and common sources of energy. They are composed of long chains of monosaccharides bonded together with glycosidic links and serve 2 important functions: the storage of energy in humans and as a significant structural component in plants. Starch is an example of an energy storage polysaccharide and is produced by green plants. It is the most common carbohydrate in the human diet, and many organisms can easily break down starches into glucose. Most starch that we consume is composed of 70% amylopectin and 30% amylose. Amylopectin is a highly branched polysaccharide with multiple digestive enzyme receptors, resulting in an easily digested starch. Amylose is a helical polymer composed of a tightly packed molecular structure with only a few digestive enzyme receptors. It is a poorly digestible or resistant starch. Starch is chiefly found in cereals, grains, rice, corns, flour, bananas, potatoes, and legumes. An example of a structural polysaccharide is cellulose, an organic compound found in the primary cell wall of green plants and algae. In human nutrition, cellulose is also known as dietary fiber, the edible portion of food derived from plants. Fiber is resistant to digestion and absorption in the small intestine, and goes through a fermentation process in the large intestine where colon bacteria break down the fiber into gas and nutrients, including small amounts of glucose. Fiber has several beneficial effects on our health, including stool elimination, removal of cholesterol, reduction of glucose absorption, nutrition of the colon cells, and regulation of the intestinal movement. There are 2 kinds of fiber, soluble and insoluble. Soluble fiber, which dissolves in water, is readily fermented in the colon into active bioproducts. Soluble fiber absorbs water and becomes viscous, which delays gastric emptying. This, in turn, can cause an extended feeling of fullness and curb appetite. Soluble fiber also promotes growth of beneficial intestinal bacteria and provides bacterial fermentation products such as lactate and butyrate, which are converted into glucose as fuel. Soluble fiber includes pectin, gum, mucilage, and hemicellulose. Soluble fiber helps in bone metabolism by increasing calcium-binding proteins, absorption of calcium, and release of bone-modulating factors. It also proliferates and stabilizes intestinal mucus. Inulin is a special soluble fiber that encourages the growth of useful bacteria in the intestines. Inulin is converted into fructose and does not stimulate insulin secretion. Good sources of soluble fiber include oats, oatmeal, barley, legumes, and vegetables. Insoluble fiber is mainly composed of parts of the fruits and vegetables that do not dissolve in water. It is the main constituent of plant cell walls, stems, husks, and vegetable fibers, and is fermented in the large intestine. Insoluble fiber absorbs water as it moves through the digestive system, easing defecation. Insoluble fiber is found in whole grains, wheat, rice and corn bran, legumes, nuts, seeds, and in fruit and vegetable skins.